Hi, this is John from FlatCatGear, and today we're making cornbread. And one of the things I want to talk about is cornbread, mixes, altitude, and taste buds. So this is what I picked today. This is a standard Marie Callender's Just Add Water cornbread mix. So first thing I want to talk about is proportions. So one of the questions I get is, I'm baking with like my 5-inch pan. How do I convert all my recipes? So if you look on the back of this mix will make 12 muffins. And what I've found is that any recipe that makes, when you cut it down to about 5 muffins, that's about perfect for a 5-inch pan. And actually with a 4-inch pan, 4 muffins seem to be about right. So 12, cut this recipe in half, make 6 muffins, that's probably going to be on target. So you don't use a whole pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh the entire thing, and I'm just going to use half of it. So if you look at the back of these directions, it says at altitude, above 5,000 feet, add 1 tablespoon of flour, and add 2 extra tablespoons of water. So most of our backpacking is above 5,000 feet, so I'm just going to go ahead and add it to this mix right now. So of course, I usually take a store-bought mix like that and I add a bunch of stuff to it just to jazz it up a bit. So one of the things I like doing, especially with cornbread, is I'm adding corn. So these are freeze-dried corn, really light, rehydrated them already. I'm adding them to the mix. And one of the things I've heard, and I believe this is true, that food at altitude tastes different than food down at sea level. I've heard, I read an article about airplane food, and that they actually have to spice it up quite a bit because you lose something like 30% of your taste while you're up in the air at 8,000 feet. And I like spicy things anyway, so I've got a mixture here. I've got dried jalapenos, I've got dried bell peppers, I've added some red crushed peppers, and green onions. And so I'm going to add that to my cornmeal mix. This takes 3/4 of a cup of water. Cornbread looks like it's done. Let's take it inside. Cornbread's done. So one of the things people ask me about is baking temperatures. They're concerned about the long baking times. So if you look at the Epicurean stove, the Epicurean stove puts out a wattage about 100 to about 75 watts. And it turns out that that's about the same amount of power that's put out by an easy bake oven. You know, the oven that you use a light bulb, a 100-watt light bulb to screw in. The reason I like it, it's a low, safe temperature. It keeps the temperatures down. Now, this is an example. The titanium pans are very thin, and so when you heat them up on the bottom, it heats up locally, and it stays cool around the outside. This pan has seen temperatures up in 600 to 800 degrees Fahrenheit range, and what it does is called oil candy. There's a slight bow to this pan, and if you listen to it, so after you spend 60, 80 bucks on a titanium pan, the last thing you want to do is you don't really want to distort it and make it do that. So that's why I keep my temperatures low. You can also go to aluminum pans and you can raise the temperature because the aluminum will spread the heat around better. But I don't want to bring an extra set of cookware. The goal behind what I was trying to do was to take something that you already had and find a way to, to be able to bake with taking a minimal amount of gear. So the only thing you have to add on this is once you have a low simmering stove, like the bacon simmer ring or the Epicurean stove, then you only need to add an aluminum pan. There you have it, cornbread. Remember, taste buds change, your taste changes at altitude, and so you tend to make things a little spicier and saltier.